Okay, so section 2 of chapter 2 is solving inequalities using addition and subtraction. And so a lot of what we're looking at in this section is very similar to what you learned in chapter 1, section 1, when you were solving equations using addition and subtraction. Okay, so for our learning target, you are going to be able to solve linear inequalities using addition and subtraction. And then looking over at our core concepts, we have the addition property of inequality and the subtraction property of inequality. These are very similar to the addition property of equality and the subtraction property of equality. So basically what they're saying is that if you are adding the same number to both sides of your inequality, you're going to get an equivalent inequality. Same thing, if you are subtracting the same number to both sides of your inequality, you will still get an equivalent inequality. Okay, so for example 1, we're solving an inequality using addition. So when we look at our problem here, it says solve x minus 5 is less than negative 3, and then we're going to graph the solution. So in this problem, we're going to be solving for our x. So we want to do the opposite operation to get rid of this negative 5. So what would be the opposite operation of negative? That would be positive. So we're going to add our 5 to both sides of our inequality. So we're going to bring down this x. Our negative 5 and our positive 5 cancel. We're going to bring down our inequality symbol, our less than symbol. And then negative 3 plus 5 gives us 2. So our answer to solving the inequality is x is less than 2. So that's kind of like our first answer. Our second answer is going to be graphing this. So I'm going to label my tick mark here with a 2. And I have a less than symbol. It's not equal to. So that means we're going to put an open point. And then my inequality is pointing to the left. So we are going to shade this to the left. And this would be considered like our second answer. So one answer is going to be what you get when you solve for your variable, and then the second answer is going to be the graph. Okay, so example 2 is solving an inequality using subtraction. So we're going to look at this first example here. We have s plus 18 is greater than or equal to 21. So again, we're solving for this s right here. So we're going to start by doing the opposite operation of this positive 18 so we can move it to the other side. So we're going to start by subtracting the 18 from both sides. So when I subtract 18, I'm going to bring this s down. These 18s cancel. I'm going to bring down my inequality symbol, and 21 minus 18 is 3. So for our answer, we have s is greater than or equal to 3. Then we're going to come down here and graph. So I have my 3 labeled. My inequality has the equal to. So my point here is going to be solid. My inequality symbol is pointing to the right. So I'm going to shade this to the right. So here is my second answer, which is my graph. For the next problem, we have negative 5.2 is greater than x plus 2. So this time we're solving for this x over here. We have to do the opposite operation of this plus 2, which is going to be minus 2. So we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. So negative 5.2 minus 2 is going to give us negative 7.2. 0.2. And this is bringing down the greater than, bringing down our x, and then these two's canceled. So now we want to rewrite this so our x is on the left. So we have x is less than negative 7.2. So here is our first answer. And you always want to make sure, again, that your variable is on the left. That's also going to help when you look at the inequality symbol to do your shading. If you leave your equation inequality like this is not going to help you to shade the right way. So we're going to label our tick mark negative 7.2. It's not equal to, so we're going to have an open point, and then our inequality is pointing to the left, so we are going to shade to the left. So here is our second answer, which is our graph.